Popcorn! Get your popcorn here! Welcome in. I'm Stacy, and today we are cooking up something great. Thanks to Pantasy, we have the Retro Popcorn Machine, set number 85046. It contains 1,201 pieces, some fancy printed pieces, a very realistic design, and one adorable minifigure. Today we are going to go through it all. Any offers or promotions Pantasy sends our way will be in the description of this video. Okay, enough teasing. I can smell it and I can taste it. Now let's get it while it's hot. So let's start by taking in this excellent little build and look at the design. The top, we've got a beautiful printed chrome piece that says popcorn. Then we've got these rounded pieces here on the front and pillars down the side. Now you notice on this side, we do actually have some Technic in front of the pillar because we have the door built on the front with the beautiful clear glass piece. We've got chrome pieces here built for this hinge piece to come down so we can get inside the set. And then we have the Pantasy printed piece with the actual set name and number on it. The red and white on the top is really well done with this tubing. So there's 3 tubes that run through these half circle pieces and they come right around to the back. So here I actually put the tubing on and then I cut it after it was on it just to make sure I cut it at the right length. Probably could still trim it a bit more, but I wanted to make sure I didn't cut off too much because they were a bit longer. The glass piece on the sides and the back are really nice that they have the ventilation pieces, the holes for ventilation, which is awesome. And here we get to see the Technic attached to the actual popcorn kettle that is attached to the crank. So we can actually move this and the popcorn will jump in the middle of the kettle. And then we have the popcorn pieces in the bottom, which are really neat pieces, really unique use for those pieces. Got a couple of pins to keep the glass pieces on, and then we have some more tubing there around the back, around the bottom. So here is a really good look at the kettle and the build. All chrome pieces, lots of bricks, topped off with smooth pieces around the top, and then it's got a black bottom. And a much better look at the popcorn, how it sits in there. And then these pillars. So these pillars are just those rounded pieces all attached with square pieces at the top and bottom, but they keep the set nice and sturdy. Here we see the main Technic for this set. So many pieces. The instructions were absolutely wonderful. And in the end, we actually get this arm that comes out that controls most of it, but really well done. We have some play features with this set. So we'll start with opening the door. We've got this little red handle. And if we turn it to the right, we've got this Technic piece in behind that comes up and we are able to open it. So this is the inside. And then we have the chute that bends down so we can have better access to the popcorn. There's an arm in here that if we turn this arm in and then move it down, we can dump the popcorn, but I don't want to do that yet because I also want to show you this crank and how the popcorn moves. That's like your popcorn is popping. And then we can dump the popcorn out. Pretty cute. So this is a good shot of the inside of the kettle and the pieces that are used in there. So there's one flat piece with some bumps on it, oops, and then those little half circle pieces actually cause the popcorn to pop up, bounce up and down. But when we turn the crank, that's how it moves. This side build of the bucket of popcorn is so cute, and it actually could be its own little set. We've got printed eyes, and we've got a croissant for the mouth that looks like he's frowning, but he's got feet on ball joints, and he's got arms on ball joints. So they are movable. And then at the top of it, we've got these little half round pieces to give it some texture. And the popcorn on the top is just incredible. The little pieces used there to make it all look so not symmetrical is just amazing. And then we have our popcorn scoop that we build. So we just have a couple of pieces here at the bottom that we would use on a pillar. And then we have a big scoop at the end, and it's actually on a hinge so that we can move it if we want to. It's also got a ball joint pin here as well, because we could take one of the arms off and actually use the popcorn scoop as an arm. And I will say, when building this, I did push a little bit too hard to put the arm in. I had to hold the inside of the build because it's before this goes on, so it doesn't collapse. And then these ball joints are actually kind of tough to get off, so you got to be very careful when taking them off. So change the arm. The arm itself actually comes off pretty easy. I like the ball at the top, but it's this pin that I have a hard time getting out. When I pull, it just really doesn't come. So I'm going to use my brick pliers here, and that pops right out. And then we can pop the scoop on. So now one of the arms is actually the popcorn scoop. The pieces used for the popcorn are so creative. They're basically minifig hair pieces. See the hole in the middle? That would go right on the minifig head. So let's get some of this popcorn back into the kettle. First, I'm going to put this back up so you can see how that works. It does catch a little bit, but I find the more I'm using it, the better it is. I'll just use the scoop, put some popcorn in, and then we'll close the door, lock it up, close the front, and then we can see our popcorn moving. So I do wish we did have more popcorn with this, because it just covers the bottom there. And then from the front, you really can't even see it. So either more popcorn or maybe the base could be higher. And not to ignore this adorable little minifig that came with this set, which I love that they've started including them with more of their retro sets. She is so cute. She's got a printed outfit that actually looks like she works at the movie theater. Look at her striped pants and her bow tie. The look on her face is adorable. And we even have a printed piece for the box of popcorn that she's holding. We also have the second piece for her bottom, so that if we wanted to have her sit, we could do that as well. On the back, we see the prints on the back of her pants, pretty similar, each of them, and how long her hair is. It goes right down to the bottom there. And there she is in her sitting position. I love that we have these options. Another unique retro set from Pantasy, and I really enjoyed this popcorn machine, and that it has some Technic, but what I would consider is easy Technic. That gives you some play features so you continue to enjoy this build even after the build. The side build of the bucket of popcorn is a great addition, and the popcorn vendor minifig, well, that's just the extra butter on top. The set is 8.5 by 6.3 by 10.8 inches. And I have the retro hand crank sewing machine on the left and the retro fan on the right to give you a better idea of the size. There is a video coming for the fan. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. And until next time, keep clicking those bricks.